Percent of change notes. Today we are focusing on percentages, okay? Before we even get started, let's really make sure that we understand that when we're actually doing our calculations, we have to convert percents to decimals first, okay? So just a really quick for example here. If I have 25%, what is that as a decimal? So you guys need to remember, move the decimal place twice to the left, right? Because percent is per hundred, right? That's 2 zeros. We're going to move that decimal twice to the left. So here in this case, that's at the end. If we don't have a decimal, we assume it's at the end of the number, all the way to the right. So we're going to move it twice to the left. So my decimal is 0.25. Okay, if it helps, you can always divide the number by 100, right? Because it's percent. So 25 divided by 100 tells me that this would be 0.25 as a decimal, okay? Over on the right side, or sorry, just to the right of this, let's do one more example. Let's say that I have 8.79%, for example. Okay, well, as a decimal, remember, we move the decimal place twice to the left. There's no number here. We use a 0 as a filler, so that would be 0.0879. Okay, again, just in case you want to check, you can always take that percentage, 8.79, and divide it by 100. And you'll see that the decimal is just 0.0879. Okay? All right. Now that we kind of understand what to do with the decimals, let's try a couple of these examples. The first example, we're buying a Samsung Galaxy for $749 plus a tax that's 8.25%. What is the final cost of the phone? All right, well, let's quickly deal with what is 8.25 as a decimal. That's going to be, put a 0 right there, right, guys? Put a 0. So 0.0825 as a decimal. Okay, so here's how we set up the equation. Oftentimes, you'll hear the phrase, the price plus tax, so $749 plus tax, right? So what we want to do today is how do we calculate tax? This is a very useful thing to be able to do in real life, right? The tax is based on the price of the item. Okay, it's going to be what we have to ask ourselves, what is 8.25% of $749? Guys, that means that we multiply. So the 0.0825, if we just added this, well then it would be 749 plus 0.8 cents no matter what we're buying. No, that doesn't make sense. It has to be a percentage of the price. So the percentage is multiplying the price. Okay, notice that you'll always have these numbers matching in these problems. Okay, now I really think it will help us understand better if we kind of understand what this is. So what kind of a number is this going to give us? Right? It's just supposed to be tax. It's not supposed to be that big of a number, but it looks like it would be because I'm multiplying by 749. Well, go ahead and check your calculator. So 0.0825, and we're multiplying this times 749, and we get 61.79. 61.79. Okay, so even though we multiplied by a large number, our answer is still reasonable. It's less than 10% of 749, right? So we're going to add these two together. All right, so we're going to say 749 plus the answer we just got, so 61.79. All right, $810.79. There we go. Just for future reference, you could actually take this whole thing and type it in your calculator exactly like that. So I could have just typed in 749 plus, and then I'm going to go ahead and multiply in here, 0.0825 times 749. All right? Actually, let's do it just like on my paper. So I don't really need this parentheses around the first number. Oops, I didn't need that. Okay. All right, this looks just like it does on my paper. When I press enter, it's going to give me the same number, right? It does have those extra decimal points, but we know we don't need those because it's money. We only need 2 decimal places. Okay, let's talk next about discounts. Right, you guys know the phrase, the price plus tax. You knew that we needed to add the tax for that to make sense. In the next example, we're looking at discounts. Okay, if a calculator is on sale for 15% off, it says, what is the discounted price if the original price is $129? I think that most of us understand when we're talking about discounts, we know that the price is going down. So this time when I'm setting up my equation, I'm going to do 129 minus, right? Because it's a discount. The original price should be going down. Real quickly, let's make sure we know 15% as a decimal is going to be 0.15. So to calculate 15% of 129, we have to multiply. So we're going to multiply 0.15 times 129. Okay, notice if we had just forgotten about that 129, I would just be subtracting 15 cents. That's not a great discount, right? That doesn't really make a lot of sense. We're subtracting the percentage, which means we always have to multiply times that price. Okay, just like the example above, you should have 129 here and here. Okay, I'm going to type that in my calculator to figure out my discounted price. Keep in mind, for it to be a reasonable answer, it needs to be less than 129. All right, 0.15 times 129 gives me 109.65. All right, $109.65. And you can always stop and ask yourself, is this reasonable? If I was going to buy a $129 calculator, 15% discount, that's not a huge discount, so my number didn't get that much smaller when it became $109. Makes sense. That's just a good thought process to have once you're doing these problems. All right, last but not least. Okay, I love this problem. This problem is definitely more real world than the other two because, well, let's just read it. It says, James is planning on purchasing a class ring. The cost of the ring is $89 plus a sales tax of 8.25%. He is also being offered a 17% discount if he places his order by December 1st. So how much would he pay if his order is put in by December 1st? Guys, in other words, they're saying, okay, you're going to buy a ring, you get a discount, and you have to pay tax, right? Often we have both of these at the same time. So let's go ahead and let's understand, okay, that tax is last. Okay, guys, we always pay tax last. So first we have to calculate the discount. Well, it's an $89 ring. I'm getting it at a discount, so I'm subtracting. How much? Well, it's going to be 17% of the price. So we're going to say 0.17 of the $89 price. So how much is this ring with the discount? All right, well, 89 minus 0.17 times 89. It should be less than 89, but not a whole lot less, right? And we get $73.87 cents. All right. Now, this is what the ring is supposed to cost me, but I still have to pay tax on this. So let's look at our tax is 8.25%. So we're going to have 0.0825%, and we're going to add tax. Do not use 89 here. You're taxing the price you're supposed to pay, which is the $73.87. All right, and it's the price plus tax. Don't forget a plus sign here. And the tax is going to be 0.0825% of the price. So again, we've got matching prices here with that percent. Okay, so I'm going to do 73.87 plus 0.0825. And this is getting multiplied by 73.87. All right, we hit enter and we get $79, and we're going to round to 2 decimal places, so I'm going to say 96 cents. Okay, remember guys, the keys for this lesson, remember to move the decimal place twice to the left for percentages. Also remember that if it's plus tax, we're adding, and if it's a discount, we're subtracting.